Welcome to the Realtor Who Wines Podcast. I'm Rashelle Newmyer, your hostess with the mostest, a student of life, a connector, a passionate wine enthusiast, and your local favorite guide. Join me as we explore the vibrant Pacific Northwest, savor the finest wines, and champion the spirit of entrepreneurship. Each episode, I'll sit down with inspiring guests, supporting business ownership, and uncovering the stories that make this community unique. So grab a glass of wine, settle in, and let's embark on a journey of discovery and connection together. Cheers! Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Realtor Who Wines. I'm Rashelle Newmyer. I'm so happy you're here. And today I'm with Becky from Meraviglioso Winery. And are we in Newberg? We're in Newberg. Okay, yeah. We're kind of on the cusp in between Newberg and Carlton.
We're actually literally on the line.
Yeah.
Half of our property is Newberg and half of our property is Dundee.
Oh, Dundee. Okay.
Yep.
So thank you so much for having us. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Oh, it's so good and refreshing. We're having bubbles today for those of you that are listening and not watching. Will you tell us a little bit about what we're drinking?
This is our 2019 Pinot Noir. She is a method champenois. So, we would say the thing if we were going to say the thing.
Yeah.
But we'll call it bubbles.
Yeah.
She has a gold medal and I can't remember what her score was, but in the 90s. Mm-hmm. I always call my wine she.
Yeah, I love it.
Lovely things are feminine.
Yes, absolutely. And bubbles are that for sure.
And we call our bubbles, or the name of our bubbles is sprezzatura, which means effortless elegance in Italian.
Oh my gosh, you can say so many words that I cannot say.
I'm trying.
I could just listen to you all day. I'm like, can't say that word. I can't say that word. How did you come up with the name for your winery?
We went to the diner downtown with Google Translate over breakfast and thought, what do we want this to look like?
Yeah.
And so we literally just pulled up, we wanted it to be Italian, and so we went through different descriptors that we liked, and it's a terrible business name. I mean, phonetically, it's Meraviglioso, and nobody can say it, nobody can spell it, but it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
To say,
when she says it, it sounds great. When I say it, it sounds like I've had 3 bottles of wine. I'm like, I'm not Meraviglioso.
It means wondrous or wonderful in Italian.
I love that. What, do you have an Italian background, or do you just love all things Italian?
We just love all things Italian, and we live in a very Tuscan. The top of our hill is just very Tuscan.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We are just embracing what we have.
Did you and your husband have a wine background, or what led you down this journey?
Dundee Hills.
Yeah. It happens to everyone. Come to Dundee Hills, a regular person, leave a wine owner.
You leave. We totally, our property is Dundee Hills. We're in Dundee AVA. And literally he said to me, one time too many, sweet girl, should we be doing wine and not trees? Mm-hmm. And then that spring day where it's been pouring and gray and horrible, and then the next day the sun is out and the daffodils and the birds.
Oh, and it's beautiful.
And I was like, yes, yeah, let's do it. So
just, the skies opened, right. The vines grew. What kind of trees did you have here before?
Doug firs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just in forest deferral. So we cleared the land and planted. On the estate, we have Chardonnay and, of course, Pinot, because
we're in Pinot country.
Yep. Right. Yeah.
And then did you hire a winemaker? What was that whole process?
We had a connection to a winemaker, and he got us started. Mm-hmm. We started making wine in 2017. We officially opened in 2020. I was an RN, and my husband is a mechanical engineer. We are serial entrepreneurs.
As most entrepreneurs are, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
there's always the next project.
We either pass out because we're exhausted, or we don't sleep because we have too much on our minds.
Yeah.
But, so we opened in 2020. as things have evolved this last year, 24, I became the winemaker.
Oh.
Did some education and found a mentor, and
how's that going?
oh, I can't wait for you to taste it.
Yeah, me neither. I did not know that. That's big news. Have you been telling people, or is that like kind of top secret that you're? Well, it's not top secret now. Right. It's out in the World Wide Webs now.
And boom,
yeah.
everybody knows.
Announcement made. But before today.
No, we haven't. We haven't really kept it secret, but no, it's so fun. And so we have, of course, rosé, and I pulled the first of the first run of just one clone, and we made a white Pinot, and she's so good. Got this little bit of a caramel, apple, pear kind of thing going on.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
For those that don't know, like, how do you, so a Pinot grape is red, and then how do you make it a white?
We took the first of the first run as we crushed, and literally I just was so picky about where the color landed. And so it's not as golden white as this. It's got a little bit of a tint to it, but the skins are what adds the color. And so we just took what we could without adding too much.
And when will that be ready?
Probably next month.
Oh, yay. That's exciting. I thought you were going to say next year, and I was going to be like, the next month.
I'm too excited.
Next month? That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. And then what about bubbles? How did you also like move from wine into bubbles?
Our winemaker, he suggested it, and he was learning. And so, and why would you not?
Yeah, bubbles are fun.
This Lily Bollinger believes that bubbles should just be a part of life, and she is my yes.
Yeah.
When you're happy, when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're eating, when you're not, when you're working, when you're
celebrating. Yeah, all of it. Well, and it's nice. You and I were talking about this earlier. We are in Pinot country. So a lot of times if you're doing a wine tasting or you're on a tour, you're going to get a lot of Pinot Noirs, like all the different wineries you visit. So it's nice when you show up to a winery and there's other varieties on the menu, because what did you call it earlier? Pinot blind?
Yeah.
Because, they all start to taste the same after a while, and you're just like, right. Okay, yeah, it's another good wine. Okay.
Okay.
So it's fun to like mix it up.
Yeah, so we have Chardonnay, and then of course Pinot, and we actually have a Cab as well, which not a lot of people around here have Cab, but I'll keep doing bubbles this year with the estate Chardonnay. We'll put it down as bubbles.
What is the hard, or well, I shouldn't say hard, what is the biggest difference between making wine and making bubbles? Like, does it have to sit as long? How does it ferment? What's the difference?
Yeah, we'll harvest a little earlier, and then it kind of has a double ferment, really. I mean, if we're going to just,
get into
simplify it, and then it kind of goes to bed in terrage, and she'll just sit and wait for a while.
Do bubbles have to sit as long as a Pinot Noir, or is it shorter?
It can sit longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can sit longer. I have some entourage that we put down in 2022 that probably towards the end of this year, beginning of next, will disgorge.
Oh, okay. And what vines do you have outside? Like, what are your estate vines?
Chardonnay and Pinot.
And then where do you get your other grapes from? Do you source grapes?
We source.
Yeah,
we would source the Cab and things like that.
Do you source out of Oregon or Washington or California? Always Oregon. I know, but hey, there are
Oregon wine drinkers. We are.
Oregon has great wine, but
so finicky about where things come from. And
there's some great grapes in California and Washington too, though. But they can be a little judgy. Especially Southern.
I'm all about it. I'm like, let's just be Oregon and be who we are. So I am all about that. But like my Cab is a Walla Walla from the Oregon side even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Cab, well, Walla Walla has really great Cab grapes. I feel like it's just the sunshine that they get and the soil there. They just really produce some beautiful grapes out that way. That's what I was saying too. Like, Part of the reason I love wine, it's not just the wine itself. I just love supporting organic agriculture. Like, I look at it as I'm also supporting farmers and things, not just like when I buy a wine that's locally made, I think I'm also supporting the Oregon farmer that helps produce it, even if they're not the winemaker.
In the vineyard at 6:00 this morning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's not for me. So I used to, in my previous life, I was a social media marketer for larger corporations, but one of my companies I worked for was local farmers. And so I'd meet with farmers and they'd be like, well, what time do you want to meet? And I was like, oh, I don't know, like morning, like 9 or 10. And they're like, no, how about 6? And I was like, no, I'm in marketing. I got into marketing because I don't get up with the sun. That's not my thing. I respect you a ton, but that's not me.
Right.
And they'd just be like, okay, well, that's like the day's half over if we're meeting at 10.
Our employees roll in the other business out there between 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, you're like, I've been working for hours. That's so funny. What other business, since you referenced it, do you want to talk about it at all?
My husband's a mechanical engineer, so we have a machine shop, fab shop. His specialty is designing turnkey machines. So if you need a machine to pick this up, a robot, he can build a robot to pick this up, turn it, move it.
That's awesome.
Anything like that.
Yeah. What about, like, when you do harvest and stuff, tell them to figure out a machine that will pick the grapes so you don't have to do it by hand.
We talk about that ad nauseum.
A little bedtime chat.
The problem, I mean, with our hills, so...
Well, and the grapes are delicate. I've talked about this with some other winemakers. Like, it's not like some of the harvests where you can use a machine to scoop it up and stuff because it'll damage the grapes. So you really have to, like...
Pinot is such a princess. She's so delicate.
Princess Pinot. I love that. But yeah, really delicate. They bruise easy. You lose a lot of the flavor and everything if they get damaged. How many tons do you guys do about a year?
This year we brought in just over 20.
Okay. Yeah. And how many cases does that make normally?
Oh, golly.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not the math person.
I think it's about 140 cases a ton.
Okay.
So, and then we sell some bulk, or shiners, club, direct to consumer. I mean, all the things.
Yeah. And you have the tasting room, obviously. If you're watching, we're sitting in the tasting room today. Talk a little bit about the tasting room vibe and like what your goal was with the tasting room.
It's been really fun. It's been really fun to have this evolve. And so we have, you kind of can't tell from where we're sitting, but we have art from 4 different artists on the walls right now and around, actually. So that's kind of fun. And we love art and live music. And so we do paint and sips once a month, and there's all kinds of different classes throughout the course of the season. And then music. This year we're going to cut back to having music just monthly or bi-monthly, which is also kind of nice. And then we have seating outside for about 60.
Yeah.
And the grounds to walk, we have over $500 going in.
Oh, my goodness.
I have 1,200 plant starts coming next week.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, my boys are just like,
yay! More
but it's
flowers.
So beautiful out there in the summer.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, too, how do you stand out? How do you get to be the one place or one of the chosen places that somebody wants to visit?
Yeah.
And I feel
especially here because there's so many.
There's so many. So social media. So you kind of have to be Instagrammable.
Absolutely.
And so again, I feel like art and flowers are a way to do that.
Absolutely. And then so flowers, vines, and bubbles.
Yeah.
That's what we have. I love it.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the wine club and like what your wine club is and what you offer.
We have 3 tiers. We do 4 shipments a month. A year, sorry.
Yeah, I was like,
4
dang,
months. I'm in.
those are some drinkers. Yeah, 4 shipments a year, and how many bottles are in each shipment?
We do 2, 4, or 6 per shipment, and then let anybody choose.
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's really kind of nice to be small enough where I can just call you up and say, Rashelle, this is what we're offering, or it'll be on the website, of course. This is what we're offering, or you can change it to be whatever you want. So I appreciate being able to do that as well.
Yeah. And then when people come to pick up their wines, do you do like any client events, or is it just come that quarter?
Both and.
Yeah.
Both and. Sometimes we do like the pickup party with the music and the whole fun thing. And then other times it's just the come pick it up and have a quiet tasting, or we'll chat. Often if there's an event or just that special tastings.
Yeah.
Often I'll bake. I always have food or something to go with it. And then a lot of times I bake something so that I want it to smell nice and be fresh and warm. And
Well, just like welcoming.
Yeah.
Like very hostess. I love that. What is something that people would be surprised about with owning a winery or a tasting room? I know. I was like, give me the juice. I want all the dirty details.
It's so fun, and it's my joy to get to have this business, and it's a joy to get to do tastings and all that. And I just really love when I did my job right, when people are able to sit outside in the summer and they're like, oh, I just want your life.
Yeah. And you're like, okay.
And behind the scenes in my life, I just want the dishes done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The little stuff.
I'm just tired. Did I send out that email? I never push send. Did I do this? I need to be out in production. And so there's so many hats to juggle to get to the point of that bottle going out the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can people order your wine online? Like, do you ship out of state?
We do. And we are currently swapping the website over, so it'll be more efficient.
Oh, good.
So I'm really happy about that. So that's probably going to take a couple weeks, but
Sure.
still, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some people have, I know some of the wineries have like restrictions in shipping out to certain states. Do you have any restrictions, or can you ship everywhere?
We ship everywhere.
Oh, good. I like that. That's great. What is something you wish you knew before you got into the wine business? The same thing. You're like, the same damn hats, Rashelle. I just told you about my 22 hats. It's the same thing.
Right. Mostly I'm just tired.
Yeah. I want a nap time.
I think what I keep learning more and more is that wine is magic. I love that this year I have the same crew, the same schedule for the vineyard. My same team will be here to help me with production, and yet the weather will totally change the bottle that we put out for 25's vintage. And it's just magic. And then how wine will change with those 2 cheeses and how it makes you feel. And suddenly, over the course of a tasting, I love over the course of a tasting when we chat just enough that, like, when you leave, people often will hug me and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Because you like have them to
because
your
wine
home.
is magic.
Yeah.
Wine is just magic. And I love learning more and more about that.
I believe that too. I was telling you, part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast with wine is I just feel like it's like building community, like sharing a glass of wine is like sharing that piece of community and like camaraderie. And then, of course, if you don't drink wine, that's okay too. You're welcome. There's a spot at the table for you too. But it's just a nice way. It's like breaking bread almost, It's just
But it really is.
Yeah.
It
I just love that.
a little bit changes things, and it provides a different bond. And man, I just love it. I do just love it so much.
Well, and the more bubbles you drink, the more secrets come out. That's the best part.
I'm just saying. Bubbles are a way of life.
What have you learned from the farming side of it? Because did you have any kind of farming background besides the trees at all?
We did. Both of us actually grew up on farms.
Okay, well, that's helpful then,
so,
obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The helpful part of that is you think we would have known better. But
at least it's not livestock because...
I actually... Man, I am actively campaigning to get some sheep and chickens.
Well, sheep and chickens are great because they can also do a little bit self-contained. Like, they can eat a little bit on their own. Like, you can still go on vacation and have sheep and chickens. But if you run, like, a dairy farm or something...
That's what he says. So what are you going to do? How are they going to feed them? Like, I have employees.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll go out there. You have Bella. She's still alive.
I miss my livestock so much.
Yeah.
But and anybody, by summer, you'll see that my farmer's heart is with how many flower beds and
for sure
gardens are out there. It's just silly.
Yeah.
But then farming we are at the mercy of the Almighty and the weather. And so, as the buds come out on the vines, you start praying that there will be no thunderstorms to damage those babies. Right. And it's like, so I've learned to pay attention to that kind of thing. And I've started journaling to keep track of what the weather looks like so that I can compare from year to year. And it's so much.
Yeah.
I love it, but it's so much.
For sure. Well, and I don't think a lot of people think about that you would be paying attention to that, but it really does impact the grapes a ton, which impacts the wine.
Completely.
Yeah. It could totally change the flavor, everything about it. And sometimes I have heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, like sometimes you'll harvest early or harvest late depending on the size of the grapes. Like if you're like, oh, they kind of need, it's almost like cooking. Like they just need a little bit longer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The magic of, if I wait, they're ready on Tuesday, but if I wait until Friday, that little bit can actually change it. And I started walking. We farm almost 7 acres behind us as well, and so I started walking the hill. I was so well fit with that at the end of the season last year because that hill is serious. Yeah, but so I started walking it regularly to watch them as they developed and to check the sugars and
And then is there just now that you've been doing it for a while, can you tell with your eye we should harvest, or is there a science behind it?
Science.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you I know
I check the sugars and the acids and
make sure the levels are all where you want them to be. And then do you do all of your bottling and everything here too, or do you do that offsite?
We are. We are. We're doing it all.
All here in-house. Oh, my goodness. Add that hat to the hat rack.
It's ridiculous.
I've had some conversations lately about using corks and not using corks. What is your thoughts and feelings behind that? Some people are telling me that it's not cost prohibitive to cork, but then others are like, I like the romance of opening a bottle that's corked. I like the romance
of a cork. I can't help it. Last year we actually corked our rosé.
Oh, really?
And I mean, just gets a little controversial might be a big word for that. Yeah. But it's you want to be able to take your rosé on a picnic,
right?
But still, just throw the bottle opener in.
Yeah, I have a wine key in every purse, my work backpack.
My backpack, I know. My handbag,
you know how many wine keys have been taken from me at the airport? Too many. Yes. I still have my TCA pre-check. Please don't take it from me, TCA. TSA. I always say TCA. TSA. Please don't take it from me.
Yeah, you're right. And but I just, the sound of the cork as it leaves the bottle, and I always leave the cork for my people because I feel like it matters. Yeah. And with a name like Meraviglioso, I need people to have it.
Yeah, you need the cork. Right. I love that. What, do you have any events or anything coming up this summer that anybody should know about?
We have lots of paint and sips on the calendar, music regularly. And we actually we've been out of town for a few weeks. And so we just got back and I'm way behind in publicizing everything. But NewbergWinery.com is a much easier way to find us than Meraviglioso.com, albeit both will get you there. But music, art, we're going to do a 1 full day art event.
Oh, fun.
So I have a friend who, her stuff is on the walls, and she's going to come do a more intensive painting class rather than just a paint and sip. So we'll do a little breakfast, and
I love that.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I wish I was more artistically talented. Every time I do a paint and sip, mine looks like a first grader did it. Like everyone looks like so good, and they're like, "It's really easy. You just do this," and I'm like, "Yeah, mine looks like a 5-year-old was here." I don't know what just happened.
It's just one of my very favorite things. I love paint and sips because everybody comes in and they're like,
"Yeah,
a glass of wine."
Yeah, looking around.
Right. 2 glasses, and it's like, girl, that looks so good.
Yeah. Don't look at mine, but yours is beautiful.
It's so fun.
I have like 5 paintings from Paint and Sips that are like in my closet because I'm just like, I hope no one ever sees these. They're terrible. The very first one, when we were just dating, the very first ones that we did are in our bedroom in the master bath. So if you know me well enough to get to that point in this house, you are forced to see those. I love that trend. I don't know if you've seen this on Instagram or TikTok where like significant others or families are painting themselves and then revealing it. I cry laugh every time because it makes me feel better about my artistic ability. Absolutely. Because I'm like, that would be me. I'd be the one that would be like, sorry, I chose you. Like, this looks nothing like you. Like,
I totally want to do it with my husband. He is so very talented. He is very, very artistically talented. So to do that like date thing. Yeah. He 30 minutes later would put something up that looked like me. Yeah. And I'd be like, here's a stick figure.
Here's a here's a little what color are your eyes again?
Protractor. Okay. That's it.
Yeah. I've never been like, I could do a monologue for you like that. You want a little razzle dazzle? I got you all day. But like painting or drawing you something, nope, not my skill set at all. Thank you so much for having me in the tasting room today. It has been such a joy talking to you and getting to share your bubbles with everyone. Will you say the Newberg website one more time? NewbergWines.com?
NewbergWinery.com.
Winery.com. NewbergWinery.com. We'll also put all of your websites and that on the YouTube channel and then all of the podcast information so people can find you. But thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Fun. Cheers. And thank you to everyone listening today. See you next time. Cheers.